This is the story of the village of Ravenshade sat nestled in a hollow of ancient woods, where mist tangled among gnarled branches like ghostly fingers. It was a place whispered about in distant towns, known for its moonlit curse, a legend too often dismissed by those who didn't live beneath the shadowed boughs. Edric Holloway returned to Ravenshade after 15 years, his father's funeral the reason for his reluctant homecoming. He had fled the village as a boy, haunted by memories too fragmented to make sense of. The townsfolk watched him with wary eyes, their suspicion palpable. They remembered the night his mother vanished, her screams swallowed by the forest. As Edric sorted through the remnants of his father's life, he discovered a leather-bound journal, its pages brittle with age. His father's handwriting, once strong and steady, grew jagged and erratic towards the end. The words spoke of the Holloway curse, a pact sealed in blood by their ancestor, Alden Holloway, who sought power from a forgotten god known only as Ulfranoch, the hungerer beneath the moon. Alden's desperation had been born from grief. His wife and children had perished to famine and disease, leaving him a hollow man. In his madness, he ventured deep into the heart of the Blackpine woods, where the earth bled crimson and the trees whispered. There, he found an altar of bone and sinew, and from the darkness beyond the veil, Ulfranoch spoke. The god offered Alden strength, the power to protect his kin forever, for a price. Alden agreed, unaware that his lineage would pay that price in flesh and soul. The curse manifested in the firstborn sons of each generation, transforming them into beasts under the moon's cruel gaze. But it wasn't mere lycanthropy. The creature wasn't just a wolf. It was something older, something that remembered the taste of primordial blood. It devoured not only flesh, but the mind of the men trapped within. Legends, half forgotten and buried, spoke of Ulfranoch's origin. He was once a god of the hunt, worshipped by a forgotten civilization that thrived in the shadow of a black mountain. They called him the Moon Eater, believing he chased the moon through the sky to devour it and bring eternal night. They offered him sacrifices, not of animals, but of their own kin, believing the god would bless them with strength and dominion over the wilds. But their worship turned to fear. Ulfranoch's hunger grew, and he demanded more, whole families, entire villages. When they refused, he cursed their lands with endless winter and hunted them in their dreams. Desperate, the last of the civilization performed a forbidden rite, binding Ulfranoch beneath the earth, shackling him to the roots of the world. His prison became the foundation of the Blackpine woods. Alden Holloway, unknowingly, broke that seal. The moment his blood touched the altar, he became the god's vessel, and the curse passed to his bloodline. Each firstborn son wasn't just a beast. They were fragments of Ulfranoch himself, the god's mind splintering across generations, clawing to reform. Edric's nights grew restless. He woke to his nails blackened and dirt beneath them, the scent of iron on his tongue. He began to lose time, hours, sometimes entire nights. When dawn broke, his clothes were torn, his body aching like he'd been dragged through brambles. He dreamed of running on all fours, chasing something that screamed. The townspeople grew restless. Livestock was found mutilated, entrails strewn in grotesque patterns. Then the first body appeared, an old man, his chest caved in, throat torn open as though by massive jaws. The villagers remembered the past too well. They spoke of Edric's father, his grandfather before him. They whispered his name with fear. Desperate for answers, Edric sought out the village's hermit, an old woman named Moira, who lived in a crooked shack near the marshes. She told him the truth no one else would: the wolf wasn't a curse alone. It was a prison, a punishment for Alden's arrogance. The wolf wasn't Edric, it was Ulfranoch, wearing his skin, gnawing on his soul. Each time Edric blacked out, the god pushed closer to the surface. Moira spoke of a way to break the curse, a ritual beneath the blood moon, where Edric would have to face the god within him. But there was a cost. The wolf would fight to survive, and if Edric faltered, his soul would be devoured entirely. He would cease to exist, and Ulfranoch would walk the earth in his skin. The blood moon rose, crimson and swollen. Edric stood at the heart of Blackpine woods, the wind howling around him like 1,000 starving voices. Moira carved ancient runes into the dirt, chanting words that scraped against reality. Pain erupted within him, a fire that splintered his bones and boiled his veins. He screamed, but the sound twisted into a guttural snarl. The wolf emerged, black-furred and monstrous, eyes like molten gold. But its face was wrong, half Edric's, half something ancient and cruel. It spoke in a voice that rumbled like distant thunder. "You are nothing but a vessel, Edric. Your ancestors built me from their despair. You cannot kill what is older than death itself." Edric, trapped within his own mind, fought against the god's will. He remembered his mother's laugh, his father's calloused hands lifting him onto his shoulders. He remembered who he was. Summoning every ounce of his remaining humanity, he forced himself forward, clawing through the fog of Ulfrnach's control. The wolf screamed as Edric's soul ignited with defiance. Light erupted from his chest, searing through the beast. The god howled in agony, its form unraveling into smoke and ash. As dawn broke over the woods, Edric collapsed, human once more. The curse was broken. The village never spoke of it again. Ravenshade remained silent, the truth buried alongside Alden Holloway's sins. Edric, scarred but free, left the village behind. He didn't look back. Yet sometimes, when the moon is high and the wind stirs the trees just right, a faint howl echoes from the black pine woods, a reminder that some gods never truly die. I really hope you like my video and subscribe to my channel so I may continue to create entertaining content for you all. Thank you.